Yo, what's up, y'all?
What's going on, everybody?
Welcome to another episode of Straight Up R&D Podcast.
Where we're gonna give it to you straight up, real raw, uncut, unfiltered.
Already know how we do. So I'm a co-host, I'm D.
And I'm Rich, and we're giving you the breakdown, all based on facts. Facts,
y'all. You already know how we roll. We don't give a fuck about your feelings, but we appreciate the support.
of course. So we're gonna jump right into it.
Gonna jump right into it. Yo, a lot been going on. You know, a lot been going on in New York City, but
So wild west out here, man.
oh my God. Like, it's just terrible out here. You got the migrant crisis, crime is up, and now you got pastors stealing money.
Oh boy, don't even get me started on that one.
So we are going to start off talking about a guy known as the Bling Bishop. That's his name, the Bling Bishop. Why is that his name? Because he's a pastor that comes to church dressed in Gucci suits, custom Fendi suits, Louis Vuitton, rolling
Alligator shoes. Come on.
His church is located in Brownsville, Brooklyn. For anyone y'all know, Brownsville is the hood.
Trenches.
And he's rolling up in Rolls Royces and Bentleys, stunting on
Slight work.
just stunting on the goddamn people who's putting money in his pocket or supporting his church. But anyway, he has been found guilty for money laundering, basically stealing $90,000 of one of his members' retirement fund. So she, out of kindness of her heart, I ain't gonna hold you, she's a little foolish. She gave $90,000 to the church, and I'm guessing, that was to do some special project, or like, hey, this is just for the congregation to do whatever y'all need to do. Come to find out, he spent it on luxury items, more Gucci, more Louis, and God knows what else. And he just got found guilty. Now he's facing 45 years in jail.
45.
So that raised the question, which I kind of know the answer myself. Is the church corrupt, bro? Like, how corrupt is the church?
Hey, the church is corrupt. It's corrupt. I mean, I'm not gonna go ahead and say all churches are. I mean, there's gonna be some good ones out there that's doing God's work, right? They're helping people. They're spreading the gospel and the ghetto gospel as well.
Uh-huh.
And you gotta tip your hats off to them. However, there's been many cases of these pastors doing some grimy stuff, stealing people money.
Yep.
Sexually abusing children, getting in between marriages, okay? Like having side chicks and cheating on their own wives.
Yeah, well, Mother Mary and Sister
Come
whoever in the
on.
church.
Like, this is insane. Like, this you expect this to be like a sacred place, right? You come here to worship. And then you hear news like this: Bling Pastor.
It's
Bling,
like, come on.
like he's known as Bling Pastor. Like, why the hell are you even going to the church still?
And like when you go to his church in Brownsville, it's a piece of shit, bro. It's a shack. Nothing's updated, nothing's upkept. But yet you living in $1 million houses, rolling up in Bentleys and custom suits. And he had a video going viral last year, I believe it was last year, where he come to my prayer closet with all type of name brand luxury items in there showing off. I'm like, aren't you a pastor? And you saying your prayer closet is where all your jewelry is at?
Oh my God!
Custom suits.
My prayer
He's literally
closet.
playing in your face, saying, "Yeah, y'all donate all this money to the church, but look what I'm spending it on. Look what I'm spending it on."
I'd like to ask some of those what's the proper term? Like the people that go to the church?
The members.
The members. I thought it was like a special word that they called themselves. But I would like to ask him, like, where is this money going? Like, if you see this man walking around with, Louis V and Gucci.
Nobody's questioning this shit?
Like, nobody says anything about that? Like, nobody, like, raises a flag? Like, wait a second. We're giving him all of our money and we're supporting him, but, like, the church is run down.
You know what's great? Not only y'all giving him all y'all money, while he living lavishly, you struggling to pay your bills. You're living in Brownsville, Brooklyn. You're wondering if you have enough money for the light bill so you and your family can like watch TV at night. You're wondering where the next meal is going to come from.
Nope.
But you giving your little ends to the Bling Pastor.
Bling, bling.
So after church is done, he'll go off in his Rolls Royce and see y'all next Sunday.
Seeing y'all at the Popeyes trying to get a deal for the 6-piece. Like, this man about to go into Fogo de Chao and eat some steak. Like, come on. Bro. So and look, let's make this clear. This guy's name is Lamar Miller Whitehead. He's 45 years old and was convicted on 2 accounts of wire fraud. One account of attempted wire fraud and 1 account of attempted extortion, each of them carrying a maximum of 20 years in prison. And this guy is allowed to be a pastor with members going every Sunday and giving him money. Not only that, like D said, he stole $90,000 from somebody.
I just want to know what the hell he said to get that woman to give up $90,000.
That's insane. Like, what could possibly be the reason?
You know, my 2 biggest things I have with the church, bro, is 2 things. One, they take up too much time from people in our community. One of the ways you become successful, this is just for anybody in life, is you devote your time to things that actually will, the things that actually benefit you. Mm-hmm. If you're taking so much time away from these people, you got Sunday service, you got 2 services on Sunday, you got Bible study, choir rehearsal, prayer service, whatever. If you're taking so much time from these people, how are they actually supposed to better themselves?
You could learn a skill with all that time.
With so much time, you can learn a skill,
you go back to skill. You could build an online business.
You could do so much, but you're taking so much time away from these people. How is it going to benefit them in the future? How is it going to benefit them at all? So for some reason, I think it's like, it's a play. It's like, let's take up so much of their time so they could stay struggling and we could continue to play on their emotions so they could continue giving their last ends or their last meals. Because if some of those people become successful in the church, they're not going to have as much time to devote to the church.
Right. They're going to go look at the next protege. Who can fill for me while I'm busy making my money based on my career that I focused on and use y'all and y'all money to excel myself.
Exactly.
Like, come on, man.
Exactly.
Come on,
the
man.
second problem is they play on the emotions of people, man.
Black people are very emotional people,
Black people are very emotional.
They think on emotion first and not logic. That's why we are where we are. And like, I'm gonna be straight.
And that's why these pastors making a killing, bro. It's like, and the thing I also really hate, you play on their emotions, you like, God gonna work it out. So people out here just giving offering, not putting the work in, and just saying, oh, the pastor said God's gonna work it out, so let me just sit on my behind and just wait until God just pay my light bill for me.
Let me sit on my laurels.
Let me wait until God provide a job for me. I don't got to put in no job application.
It's just gonna appear.
It's just gonna appear.
You're just gonna start working and
I'm just like, bro, they're doing this on purpose. They trying to keep you at the bottom so you keep depending on the church so the church could keep reaping the benefits, your pockets.
It's very sad, and I mean, we're definitely gonna have a whole religion episode. We're gonna have some devoted, Christians, Muslims, whoever. It doesn't matter what religion, but there's a lot of stuff that has to be talked about because this is a business. Opening a church is a business.
Tax free.
It's a business, okay? And I feel like if this guy can be a pastor, it's like any random Joe on the street can be a pastor.
Yeah.
This guy's stealing your money.
Stealing your money. And I'm just like, bro, like, why churches don't, at least property taxes, they're a tax-free organization, bro. So all that money they getting, it's right in their pockets.
Straight bank.
So you know how much money I would just put through the church so I don't have to pay taxes?
It's money laundering.
Money laundering.
That's
exactly.
literally what it is. Like, there's no cut. Like,
fucking drug cartels, basically.
It's like, basically. And it's crazy because near my house, there's a guy. His house, he used his house as a church.
Oh my God.
So and every time I walk my dog, I walk past his house, and every time, like most times, like I'll see the sign. I'm like, really? Like one day it was summertime and it was kind of hot, so they had the door open, right? And I was able to see inside because I'm walking past, so I'm able to see inside. Mind you, this is a legit house, single family house, legit house. I walk past and I look in there. He made the whole first floor, the like worship, like that's the church, and then upstairs is where he lives. So his residence is the church.
Man, they put no effort into that.
So I'm like, wait a minute. You just stick a freaking sign, a little cardboard sign outside, Christian whatever ministry church, blah, blah, blah. And then you just open up your whole first floor and just say, here's the church.
He getting paid.
And you live in there? Like, you're not paying any property taxes.
And you know what's even crazier too? Like, so the point people want to say, like, you pay tithes and offerings because it goes towards the upkeep of the church, like the electricity, water, like basically whatever that the building needs or the bill that needs to be paid goes to that. All them tithes and offering that man is getting is going to the upkeep of his house.
That's his mortgage he's paying.
They paying his mortgage. They paying his life. He's smart. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's what I'm saying. I can't be mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm like, yo, you doing you ahead of the game right now.
So he just like, yeah, every Sunday, this bill is covered from how much money I get on this Sunday. He probably got a day job, so he's like,
he definitely got a day job.
So he just pocketing the day job money. Basically, the church is probably just paying for the electric bill, water bill, whatever. But and no property tax. Oh my God!
And this is New York, so he really saving some bank.
He's striking in. He probably building another house as we know it.
Probably.
And be like, oh, this is my second church.
Got one in Crown Heights now.
Expanding.
Yo, this shit is crazy, man. This is it's a crazy
bro. You can make
ass
anything
world.
into a church.
You know, and I'm just like the whole idea is just like, do people not realize that you're getting screwed? Like you're giving over your last dollar, your lunch meal for tomorrow, like, and you don't even get anything back. Like, I mean, you're getting a sermon, right? But is it worth, what is it, 10% or 15%?
10%.
10% of your pay every week?
Yeah, 10%.
Is 10% every week, or is it like 10% a month, or?
I think it's every week.
I think it's every week. I mean, I've been to church, I've gone to church and everything, but sometimes you gotta have a mind of your own, and
Yeah.
I'm a type of dude that does my research and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna save the rest of the conversation for someone we get on the show that is an avid churchgoer. And again, I have nothing against people who go to church.
Yeah,
nothing against people, Christians, Muslims, whatever, Buddhists.
Just got our opinion.
Hindus, I have no problem with it. Believe in what you want to believe in, but I will say this thing though. I find it very interesting that the same Bible that was used for slaves, the same Bible that the white man used to enslave you to obey the plantation master, is the same Bible you're using today.
No, that's actually a good point.
That I cannot stand for, and that is the reason why you're not going to catch me.
It's crazy. I was reading a lot about that the other day. No, we got to save that. I was reading a lot about that. We got to save that for, any avid churchgoer, come on
we
show.
can have the discussion. I'm absolutely fine with having that, but I can't just sit here and think that my ancestors was killed for even learning how to read the Bible themselves. For even learning how to read.
Yeah.
Better yet, picking up the Bible and interpreting it for themselves.
Yeah.
That I can't stand for.
Yeah.
And mind you, you can't say it. That's not that long ago.
Not that long ago.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's still fresh. But hey, this is America, and we live with a lot of black people that know how to think for themselves. But I'm not going to go on a tangent on that. We'll leave that for another episode because there's a lot to unpack with that.
There's a lot to unpack with that. But, you know, another thing I always said that churches should do, and I don't give a fuck about anybody's opinion, there should be an audit. We should see where the money is going within the church. Like, if you're telling me I got to give 10% plus offering, the members should actually see where that money is going towards the church. How much percentage is going towards upkeep? How much percentage is going towards, you know, like activities outside of the church? Or like, you know, donating clothes and stuff. Like, we would need to know. So you could avoid shit like this.
Exactly.
Like, and I don't think that's such a hard thing to ask for.
It's really not. Because I've heard, like, you know, they have like their little treasury or the guy who's in charge of the money and stuff, but it's more of like, it ain't nothing like...
Who's at hand pocketing shit?
Exactly. Like, how, like, give me the data. Show me whether or not I'm intelligent enough to comprehend it. Give me the data. Give me the information. Show me the numbers so I can see. Because if I'm putting my money into this, I need to know where the hell it's going.
Exactly. I need to know if the money's actually doing right by
I need
people.
to know where it's going, right? And I think, you know, every Sunday they should have 10 to 15 minutes to discuss where the money's going from last week, how much you guys raised, what it went to, why, are you guys saving up for, like, you know, a church trip or, you know, school supplies for kids for next year? Like, oh, how much money you trying to raise? You know, like stuff like that. I'm not saying that these churches don't do that, but I went to church many times, and I can only recall one time where they had a chart about how much money was raised, but that was only money towards a church trip. So it was like towards a trip that they had to get the bus and then the food and all of that stuff and the hotels and stuff like that. That's the only time I ever seen.
No,
like,
you're right. That's the only time I ever seen that. When I went
and
to
even
church.
then, you still gotta, you know, they still, you're encouraging you to pay more, but it's like that's the only time I ever seen the money actually get broken down or know how much we have.
And you know, I feel like the church should be ran like a democracy. Everybody that's a paying member, we should all come together and be like, hey, what do we want to spend the funds on now? Because you're just taking everybody's money, and I guess the pastor and maybe his little minions that's under him or her, whatever, deciding what to do with the money. I don't think that's fair. It's like, I'm giving you all this money. At least for a certain percentage of the money, the congregation should have a say in, like, oh, here, this is what we want to do. This is what we want to donate. This is, like, you know, whatever we want to do with the money. But people blindly giving and don't know what's going on.
Yeah, no, there's supposed to be transparency. They're supposed to say it costs this amount of money to upkeep for the church. It costs this amount of money on average for the light bill. It costs this amount of money. Like, we have to know we're coming here. This is tax free, right? So we're really paying for this because the government is not taking a cut out of this, and
which is so crazy.
When this is all breaking down, I mean, we pay higher taxes. Maybe if we were taxing these churches, our taxes wouldn't be so high, right? I mean, come on now.
And you got these big, humongous ass churches.
Come on now, dudes, pastors flying in private jets, and I'm like, what kind of craziness is this? There's not a person on this planet that can justify the reason for a pastor having a private jet. Okay, it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make no sense, bro.
How can you have a private jet? What? Oh, I need it so I can fly to this and this state on a dime to spread the word. Get out my face with that.
Yeah, go on fucking stream, bro.
Face with that. Exactly. We have WebEx and all these other teams and YouTube Live. Like, you could just create a channel and people log in. But
yo, you know what's even crazy too? Like, in Brooklyn, New York, there's a church called CCC, Christian Cultural Center. Humongous church, bro. I want everybody to look it up to see how big this church is. And I believe, they had like a lot of celebrities there before. But they're a
Red
big
flag.
church. Church is so big that they got ATM machines up in there. Bro, ATM. I remember I visited church and I saw ATM machine. I'm like, man, I'm about to walk the fuck up out of here. They give you no excuses.
Yo.
They give you no excuses not to give, bro.
Damn, they don't take cash out?
No, I think they do too.
Oh my God.
If I remember correctly, I think they really do.
That's insane.
Some churches take Cash App and Zelle, bro.
That's
They're not giving you
insane.
no excuses. So, say for instance, people come late, right? There's no more
This
space.
is a big church, but go ahead.
There's no space in like the main room. They got an extra room for the late goers with flat screen TVs so you can see the pastor preaching and whatnot. And I'm just like, bro, y'all got all of this. Y'all ain't paying no taxes.
Oh my
At
gosh.
least property tax, bro.
Oh my goodness.
ATM machines. Me never see such thing, bro.
Yo. But I feel like the role of the church is like it's not what it used to be back in the day. I feel like a church is supposed to be very community driven,
Right.
supposed to keep the youth out of trouble, supposed to keep the gangs, away from the kids. It's supposed to encourage kids to go to school, be on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Look at these kids now.
Kids are terrible.
You see the one the guy that killed those twin sisters, those twin girls?
Yeah, he turned himself in.
What?
now.
Where the church at? They should have stepped in. They should have been like, yo, like this can't be happening in the community.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The church is supposed to be the ones enforcing these things on these kids, man. If they don't have a father in the household, the church is supposed to be there for them.
No, that's so true. You're absolutely right. Back in the day, churches would step in, actually be there for the community, do a lot of food drives, like a lot of community engagement. Step in and pay for, like, if they thought some injustice was going on, get lawyers for those families who
Exactly.
like churches don't do that anymore. It's just like, hey, come to our place, hear the word of God, give 10%, see you next Sunday.
See you next Sunday. See ya. like, and look, and what's very, very, very suspicious is that you go down Church Avenue. I mean, come on now. It's named Church Avenue. You go down Church Avenue and there's like a whole bunch of churches. Some of them I've never seen open before.
Couple of shacks, bro.
It's just like, it's clearly a scam.
Yeah.
It's clearly a scam. And how can you have so many churches in the same neighborhood? You have like 5 churches in a 2-block radius.
Bro.
What sense does that make?
You don't even know what church to go to. It's a scam, bro. Because some
Like,
people
come
are just
on.
opening it up just to launder money through, bro.
Like,
They just open the church up.
there
just
should
to,
be
like,
one church, at least within every 5 miles, okay? Like one church, it's big, it can hold everybody, it's for the community, or they can have, or maybe even have other little churches where they all work together and they're all kind of like, one, rather than like 5 separate different churches, different pastors, different this, different. I was like, you can't really like help a community that way.
Yeah, and it's like, how can you like really crack down on which church is fraud and which church is not fraud? Like,
You gotta have a whistleblower, basically.
Like, it's so many churches, bro. Like, there was no way you could really crack down on it, and I guess it's that easy. I guess you just get some damn minister certificate. I'm now a pastor.
Who knows?
My basement is now the church.
Like, for real. And it's really sad. It's really sad. But I find it very suspicious that these pastors are making all this money, living these lavish lifestyles. And it's a thing where, the members, they look at the pastor as this perfect guy, this
Especially the women.
special dude that's just so great, and he's just so amazing. And listen, I've been to some services where the pastors, they can really preach. Like they'll inspire you, and I give them credit for that. But if they're inspiring you and then stealing your money, it's like, come on, is that really beneficial to me now? Now you're lying to me, you're stealing from me. and especially the women are very impressionable.
Yeah,
to the pastor.
Growing up in the church, bro, unfortunately, there was a lot of single black women in that church, right? And even I have another church in mind now, like there was a lot of single black women in that church also. And I feel like they were so impressionable and just willing to blindly follow this pastor because, as you know, they don't have no leader in their life. So they're not married. They don't have no man leading them. They're not, have no boyfriend or relationships. They're pouring everything into this pastor. So in a way, they're looking at that pastor as a husband.
As they man.
And which is why they're so thirsty for a relationship. They willing to go backdoor, mess with that pastor in the second room, and while their wife out there, upholding the church and clapping along, while Sister Mary just came out from the back room saying, "Thank you, Jesus."
Let me fix my wig.
Because I don't know. At
man.
every church I've been to in the black community, it's a lot of single black women. Not saying I haven't seen, whole families of traditional relationships, but I've seen a lot of single black women in those churches, and they look at those pastors as husbands, which is why they know in the back of the head, hey, maybe I shouldn't give so much money. But they're like, oh, he's the man, he's the leader in my life, so I'm just going to do what he say.
But what I find interesting is that, and we could even turn this into relationships too, is that people say, oh, if you can't find somebody, you can go to the church and find somebody. But my thing is this. I'm not going to go to church looking for love.
Exactly.
Like, I'm there to pray. I'm there to worship. I'm not there to start a relationship and get into gossip and drama and all of that stuff. They're like, I'm there to pray, worship God, pray Jesus, this, that, and the third, and then take my ass home.
Exactly.
Like, that's it's like going to the mosque trying to pick up girls. And like, you don't do that.
Well, I find struggling I'm not finding struggling. What I'm finding hard to understand. Say, for instance, if you're a young girl, or age don't really matter, and you dedicate your life to the Lord, right? You're like, hey, I'm a whole Christian now. All I'm going to do is just go to church Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, wherever. Mm-hmm. But the whole point of church, like you said, is not to find a relationship or love. It's to serve God.
It's your relationship with God.
So
that's what you're doing.
What time are you going to even have to even seek love if you're committing yourself to go to the church Monday through Friday? And majority of the time, what have I seen in churches? The majority of people that make up the population are single women, families. If the only men that really be in the church or because they're married to their wives and their wives are dragging them to church.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of single men that just willingly walk in church. Now, there are some, but I mean, majority of men that I've seen in church, they're already called for.
Right.
So it's like, when are you going to have the opportunity to fix your love life if all you do is just following the pastor man?
Because the pastor's now their boyfriend, their husband, their worship husband or something. I don't know. It's just weird to me. It's kind of weird, It's. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it could be that. Yeah, there's a single guy there, and he goes in, and there's a single woman there, and everybody's like, oh, y'all two's. I get that.
It can happen.
It can happen. Not saying it won't, but to say, oh, I should find a man in the church is basically no different than you going to the club to find a man.
Right.
Okay? I feel like some of the videos that I see, some of these women is dressed up as if they going to the club. And 90% of the service is dancing. And I'm like, where's the real sermon and the prayer and the study of the Bible? Where is that?
Man is in the back screaming
come on. I understand you got to play some songs and hymns and all that. I get that. But sometimes it's just the whole damn service is music. Like, I want to hear something to talk about the Bible. And another thing is, a lot of these people don't even read the Bible. It's just like, you just showing up.
And just showing up. I'll definitely be
Oh,
though.
man.
If I was to go to church, I'll be just going in like, yep. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know where that coming from, but I hear you.
But to me, it's like, this is how I think about it. Like, and think about it logically, okay? Like, I know when religion comes in, everybody's kind of like, oh, like, afraid and don't, like, want to speak up and say stuff as, like, would you want me to read a book and then tell you about it?
Not really.
I mean, like, if I'm like, yo, this is a really good book, yo. This book is so good.
Okay.
Like, there's so many. Hold on. There's so many things in this book. It's like, it's amazing. Like, I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm gonna tell you the whole book.
Okay, yeah, you would catch my attention. I'm like, all right, so tell me more.
Yeah, so tell you more. But then I end up saying, all right, you know, like, we can meet up every week for an hour, and I'll just, like, tell you about the book. Like, we can go through. I'll tell you about chapter 1. And, like, you could just sit right there, and I'll just talk to you about it. I mean,
I'm like, I ain't got the time for that. I'm like, just tell me what it is.
But not only that, what I'm trying to get at is, wouldn't you rather just buy the book yourself and read it?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm like, yo, this book is so good, bro, like, wouldn't you say, all right, bro, like, you say it's good, I'm gonna just go get the book and read it? Or can you give me the book and let me read it myself? Like,
but you know another thing about that, and this is another thing I have a problem with churches in general. And I guess this could go for all religions. I don't know. I'm just speaking really on Christianity. Because, you know, that's what, you know, how I grew up. There's one book, bro. The Holy Bible is one. It's preached the same message to everybody, but each pastor can interpret it differently. Yeah. So you go to one church and they can say, this is what Genesis mean. Hey, everybody's shouting all about the place. They could go to another church. Genesis really mean this. Hey, everybody's shouting all about the place. It's like, if this is the word, shouldn't everybody, all the pastors be working in unison, saying the same thing? It's like, who's right and who's wrong?
Yeah.
It's so many different messages, so many different interpretations. You don't even know who's right. So it's like the blind, in a way, it's like the blind leading the blind. You can have a group of pastors here and they're like, oh no, this is what the word actually means. Oh no, pastor, you're wrong. But it's just like, nobody knows what it really means. Nobody knows what they're talking about. And then you go into your members and saying this is what it means. Also, give me 10% again.
Like, give me another 10%. You're wrong. Give me another 10. Like, I don't know. That's the part that shows this is a business. Because if you saying it one way, I'm saying it one way, the other pastor is saying it the other way, it's like we all studying the same book. Why do we all have different interpretations of the same thing?
Exactly.
Right? There's something wrong about that.
Somebody's wrong.
Something is wrong.
Somebody's leading somebody not to heaven, bro. Somebody.
I don't even know how these pastors could live with themselves doing that.
Bro.
Like that's really messed up. I mean, I went to church, Christian church, did all of that. Sunday school, this first morning service, evening service. I did all of that already. Like, I know what it's like. Like,
yeah.
I've been in it, and I've been to all different types of churches. White pastors, black pastors.
Yep.
Like, I've seen it all. Big grand ones, small little ones. Like, I've seen it. And to me, it's just a lot of inconsistencies.
It's a lot of inconsistencies.
And I really think it should be a forum where the members, right? Let's say you're a member, just like you get a membership to the gym, Planet Fitness. You pay $20 a month, right? You pay your $20 or whatever to the church.
It should be a flat fee.
Flat fee, right? You read your passages, right? You come to the church, and then you have a discussion with the pastor, who's the one who knows about the whole Bible, right? He's supposed to be the most knowledgeable person. And you and him and everybody, you guys have discussions on it, like a book club.
Yeah, no, that's actually true.
That's what it's supposed to be.
It don't take up so much of your time.
Yeah, an hour. Okay, everybody talk. Blah, blah, blah. You have your notes. You talk about this. Well, he said in scripture, da 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 da, said blah 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 blah. I think it's this, but this contradicts something in the earlier verse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, explain, pastor. You're the one that knows. Like, it shouldn't be we're singing 45 minutes. He talks for 10 minutes. You congregate and talk for another 10, and then you go home.
Hey, you know what's even crazy, too? Another thing, because I know a church that does this. I feel like offering and your 10% should be collected once, if you want to collect it, once a week, one service. There's a church I know. Again, so much time, multiple services throughout the week, double service on Sundays, all tithes and offering collected both services. Saturday they do events, do like special services, offerings collected through there. Prayer club, offering collected at that prayer club, and like whatever other events they have at that church, they're doing offerings. So this church could get like offering 4 or 5 times a week. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell? Why y'all collecting so much offering?
So much money. Because I remember when I was in Sunday school, like we get there early. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, my mom would give me some money, so you can go to Sunday school. They go ask for money again, right? So I give them the money. Boom, we get a little break until the adults or whatever, all the kids go back inside of the main church now. Boom. After that, tithes again, offerings again. I'm like, what? Like, I'm like, I just paid y'all. Like,
just paid.
Why am I paying again? Like, this don't make no sense.
That's why it gotta be a limit on the amount of offers you could collect.
Because it's a business, man. They're using it as a business and guilting you. And even when you're dropping the money and you got the pastor in the background and he's saying, just a little bit. he's gonna thank you for this. Like, it's like they guilt you into giving the money.
How are you encouraging and telling people to give their last? Like, I feel like that's a crime. I'm like, bro, and I used to look at my mom. I'm like, bro, as a youngin', and when they be like, hey, God gonna give it back to you, and I see my mom go out there, I'm like, bro, like, what the fuck?
That's my lunch money for tomorrow.
Yeah, and like it is like you here in the church. I remember this lady gave a testimony too. She was like, yeah, she gave her rent money for the month, and she like, I was struggling, but the Lord found a way. A couple months later for me, I'm like, a couple months. I'm like, shit, if I own that building, I'm gonna evict your ass. Like, but I'm just saying, like, you cannot encourage people to give their last, like, especially 10%. 10% of a check is a lot for some people, bro.
That is,
especially for people in the hood. That's a lot. Mm-hmm. I feel like you should give what you can afford. Like, you shouldn't put your bills and your family
at jeopardy.
At jeopardy, bro. Like, you should be like, all right, well, if I make $20, I can only afford to get $5. Or whatever. So let me just give that $5 and the less I have, to pay for bills. But you're saying to give 10% of your whole check every week, and you're like, oh, don't worry, if it's your last, God will give it back to you. It's like, now I got to sit here and wait and hope I get the money in time? What if my lights are shut off?
That's on you.
What the hell?
That's on you.
The pastor going to help?
Con Ed ain't going to say, oh, you gave your last to the church? Oh, okay, we'll give you an extra 2 weeks so you can get your paycheck and pay us back.
You see what I'm saying?
No, the world don't work that way.
It does not work that way. That's why like these churches play in the emotions of these people, bro.
Yeah.
And it's really sad. It's like, stop saying give your last. People don't have last to give. This might be my real last. And then you're saying this and that, whatever the fuck you preaching. And then they walk out of that church with $0 in their bank account.
Not only that, what really surprised me was the first fruit thing. Like,
yeah,
I honestly didn't even know about that.
I had to.
When I heard about that, I'm like, there is no way I am expected or being guilted or tricked to giving my entire paycheck to the pastor. There's no way. So
y'all, the first fruit is
expand on that, because that's new to me. Yeah. I ain't never heard of something
that's
like that. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and the 10% alone was just like, what? But my entire check, I need to hear about this. Go ahead.
So yeah, y'all. So the first fruit, if y'all thought the 10% was a lie, wait till you hear this. So the first service of the new year, right? So like the first offering and the first tithes, I believe. Is it tithes? But anyway, the first money that's collected in the new year, right? You're expected to give your first fruit, which is your first whole paycheck to the church. So let's say if your paycheck is $1,000. Instead of 10% of that, you give all $1,000 to the church. So that's what the first fruit is. So I guess, what bills I got for the month, it don't matter.
And you know what's crazy? It's that I think about the people who are already in the hole. Like, just because it's January 2024, January 1st, 2024 means, all of my debt from last year is erased and I'm starting back from zero. And no, it doesn't work that way.
Does not work that way.
Like, people have rent, food, bills to pay. There's no way I'm giving up my whole check.
Bro, if I was a father in the church, right? Well, if I have my family in the church, I have my wife, like 1 or 2 kids to support, there is no way I'm giving up my first paycheck.
And I am not breaking it up into 3 parts, and I'm not even doing that.
Yeah,
either.
so that's
not even happening.
So you could break it up. If you don't want to give your whole check, then you could like break it up into like several parts throughout the year, whatever. But there is no way, as a leader of a household, I'm going to put my family in jeopardy and like, hey, y'all, I'm going to be late on some bills, or, something might get shut off this month because I gave my whole first paycheck to the church. I'm putting y'all second, but I put the church first. Can I get an amen? Like, there was no... I'm like, what man is going to logically put their family in jeopardy like that? I can't imagine.
Hey.
If I would be in a church, like, what the fuck this church just asked me to do? No. And I see all these dumbass motherfuckers going there putting their whole paychecks up in there. I'm like, oh, hell no, they got y'all.
Oh, you know they're gonna be playing some uplifting music for your ass to be dancing down the aisle and throwing your check in the basket. You know that. They say, oh, we'll take money order, check, Cash App, Zelle, blank checks. That's crazy. So I'm looking here. It says the first salary from a new job or the first paycheck of the year, or a portion earned from any profits or sales, or annual salary bonus.
This is crazy.
So, like, to me, I find this to be utterly ridiculous. This is ridiculous. People are struggling these days.
Especially in this economy.
Especially in this economy, inflation and all this craziness going on. And you live in New York City. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here, bro. Like, they need to put some laws down for this stuff. Like,
honestly,
something like, it's the freedom, First Amendment, freedom of speech, press, expression, religion, sex, or that. I get it, but this is just blatant robbery.
Blatant robbery. As I'm sitting here thinking about it too, like, the churches of today definitely has something to do with like why the black community is still so far back. You go into the neighborhoods saying, yeah, we're going to make everything better, but you just continue to take and take and take from them, bro. It's going to be so hard. You're taking their money and their time. It's going to be so hard for the black community to get uplifted or to, like, progress if the pastor, man, keeps saying, yo, just give me your whole first paycheck and it's going to be all right.
Bro, I'm still stuck on this first fruit, bro. I really think about this. I'm like, my whole first check, I got to give it to the church. What he doing? And I don't even know what he's doing with the money.
You don't even know what he's doing. And I'm like,
not to cut you, because this really got me pissed off. Like, would you, think about it. Would you even give your whole first paycheck to St. Jude's Cancer Research? Would you even do that? You wouldn't do it.
There is not even a lot of things you even give your first whole paycheck to.
You wouldn't even give it to a family member who needed it. Come on now. And they tell you what they need it for. You wouldn't even give it to them.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd give it to the church in hopes of what? What? Like, is the AC getting upgraded? Is new flooring? Is it going to be bigger speakers so the music is louder? And
they come next week and give 10%.
And then give another 10. So how are you going to give 10% if you just gave your whole check?
I felt,
How does that make sense, bro? I just gave you everything. How else to give you 10%? Oh, you saying I owe you money now? Like, come
so,
on, bro.
I'm like, so y'all not gonna take a break from collecting offering? Like, you just took everything I got.
Yo, that's the whole year, bro. Like, if I give you the whole check, that's the year, bro. Like, just take it.
Bro.
Don't ask me for anything.
And I'm like, yo, for churches who collect that shit, you should be ashamed of yourself. And I feel like
man.
you should not collect offering for the few months. Like, if you took the first paycheck of everybody in that church, you should be good on bills and shit.
You set for the rest of the year.
You set, but yet you still gonna have multiple services a week, collecting offering after offering after offering, and then telling people, oh, like Bling Pastor there, oh, give your retirement fund. He gonna give it back while he out there spending on Gucci belts and Rolls Royces and shit. And this got you looking stupid.
So check this out. Check this out, right? The average rent in New York City is about $3,900.
Okay.
39 average. This is like, there's some people who's paying like $900 for like a 10 by 10 room, and there's people who's paying mortgage. Well, not I can't say mortgage because that's rent, but they're paying $4,000 for an apartment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So check it. Let's say there's about how many people going to church? Probably like 30 people.
Yeah, it's like 30.
30. So if 30 people were to give just their rent, right? Because your lodging, your living expense is the biggest expense.
That's the biggest
have,
expense,
right? Especially if you live in New York. So you say about 30 people, and we're gonna multiply that by 3,900. That's $117,000. $117,000 straight cash, untaxed. Untaxed, bro. You cannot tell me, oh, next week I need 10% more.
You don't need nothing else.
You need to give more. You can always give more.
If you get 6 figures
Jesus
from
is
one
gonna
service,
pay you back.
You don't need anything else for the rest of the year.
Come on, man. That's a lot of damn money.
That's
man.
a lot of damn money, bro.
So you start off the year $117,000 richer.
Bro, some of these churches are pulling in bank.
You know he's buying that Bentley. That's a down payment right there. Yo.
It's a down payment.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, hey, all I gotta say is I'm not discouraging people. I'm not trying to discourage people from going to church or giving money, but ask the question. It doesn't hurt. Where is my money going to? How much do we have?
Request an audit.
Request an audit is your right.
Mm-hmm.
It's your right. You are a member of the church, and I think if you get denied, maybe you should look for another church. Maybe you should. I mean, it should be transparent. I mean, if you're in the union, right? Like,
right.
I know a lot of you guys are probably, if you work in New York City and you work for the city, you have a union job or something, you can go up to your union rep and tell them, hey, what's going on? I want to know what are my dues are being paid for? What's my next raise? How much money do we have in the accounts? Can I see? And they'll give it to you.
Yeah, there should definitely be some type of protection for the members of the church.
Like there's no accountability. It's just I would feel more comfortable giving my money to the homeless people on the street.
For real, because it's like at least I just know.
At least I know. Okay, he could either get some food or
fuck it up on drugs, whatever. But
I could tell, But damn. And we're not even done with these pastors. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have another pastor. Another pastor.
Man, these pastors
goes by
wild.
The name of T.D. Jakes.
Oh boy.
I'm sure you guys probably know of this guy.
Another rich pastor. Another
rich balling pastor flying around, doing all of this, committing all of this sin. You see what I'm saying? And y'all funding the same dude. Y'all making the religion look pretty bad, but you're funding the same dude, right?
Yeah.
This guy has gone to Diddy's sex parties. You know,
this is crazy.
The freak offs. A pastor is at the freak offs.
And he's leading people.
And he's supposed to be a leader in a church. Like what kind of
Listen,
how is this justified?
Listen, whether a man wants to go to them freak ass parties, like I don't really care. It's not that we got a problem, but it's that you're a pastor. You're supposed to be leading men and women by the word of the Lord. And you're supposed to be, you know, saying what's wrong and what's not wrong. But at the same time, you're going off, freaking off with Diddy, and then turn around telling that your brothers should be mating with their sisters and y'all should be getting in traditional relationships while you're over there doing whatever the hell you was doing with Diddy. Mm-hmm. It's like, it's just so hypocritical. Like, be yourself, you know, do what you want to do, but don't be in no position of leadership if you can't even stand by what you preaching. It's just, I couldn't believe that when I saw that, man. But am I surprised, bro? I don't think I'm surprised. It's so much corruption going on. It is what it is.
Hey, this man, TDJ, he's a straight baller, you know, because he has a partnership with Wells Fargo, and the value of that partnership is $1 billion.
What the fuck? He got a partnership with Wells Fargo?
Yeah, a partnership with Wells Fargo. This was as of 2023. So, it's like...
He living well.
What, like... How do you explain that? That, like, you're a pastor that's a billionaire, and prior to that, his net worth was $20 million as of 2023, prior to this deal. So it's like... You're making all of this money. Like, you should be saving lives. You should be, you know what I mean?
He
like,
should be on the forefront of, like,
he should
building
be leading
up these communities.
He should have been the face of Black Lives Matter. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he should have been really spearheading that. If you have all this damn money and he's a black pastor.
Yeah, that goes back again. Church is not doing anything for the community. You're collecting so much, and you're trying to lead people down the right path, and you're like, hey, follow me, follow me. But what exactly are you doing to help these people in need? The only people who can, like, really impact change in these communities is really just niggas who give a fuck, bro. People with money. That's why you respect somebody like LeBron James, who's like, look, I'm not going to wait for, like, no big organization. I'm going to, you know, build this school. And that's what he's doing.
You got Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I'm still waiting on that school. I saw the building.
I saw the building. Nah, the building's there.
The building's there.
You know,
it just needs to open up. Like,
but I mean, at least it's a step. At least it's a step. At least there's the building.
Like, stop waiting on these government. Don't wait on the government to, like, help the community. Like, no, you have enough money in your pocket to work independently to help these communities, and you're a pastor, and you're leading a church, and your whole point is to help the community. It's like, how are you not on the forefront for this? How are these big name pastors not, you know, really going deep in the communities, building schools? Shit, y'all could be building grocery stores, something for the community to help them get over.
Like, that's just very fishy. Like, it's very, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like,
it doesn't make sense.
You have, you know, other people coming in the community, buying up apartments and buildings and renting it out, and it's like, these pastors should be out here investing in real estate too, saying, hey, you know, this is for the community. We want to, you know, have affordable housing for people so they can afford and get on their feet. You know, these are members of my church. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Like, in those type of ways, I feel the church is supposed to be legitly helping the community. And it should be going door by door, not trying to tell you to come to the church so you can give them your 10%. Right, but more of, you know, preaching to say, hey, you know, we're trying to better the community. We want to keep the kids active. You know, we want to build more trust and security. You know, raise our children right. You know, they should even be encouraging the single mothers out there that can't get a control on their kids. Kids going into gangs, girls on OnlyFans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the type of stuff that's supposed to be going on. Before you know it, you're gonna hear pastors are on OnlyFans too.
They probably are.
They probably already are. They probably are. They smashing the ones that's in the video.
Exactly.
You can't see them. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's just so crazy, man. Like the church takes so much from the black community, but don't give anything.
But I don't give anything back.
Don't give nothing back, man. Like stop waiting on the government to help. The government already proved they don't give a fuck about black people, bro. You independently should say, you know what, let me fund it. Oh, shit, use the money from your big ass churches that's on national television or whatever. Use the money that you're getting from that, but use a percentage of that money to like help the community out. But yeah, you just stacking up, man. Go on your private jets, taking a private jet to Diddy freak off party. That's what's most important.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I can't look at these things the same. I mean,
have questions, man. I have
a lot of questions, and I just don't get any answers. You know, I get referrals to, and in the Bible in verse this they say. I'm not talking about that right now. Mm-hmm. Let's the Bible is the rule, the law. We get that. You know, that's the book, right? Nobody's disputing that. But let's start with these crooked pastors. Let's start with that first. Mm-hmm. Let's start about where is our money going to. Let's talk about that first.
Exactly.
Right? I shouldn't even be giving you 10% of nothing, bro. Like I'm coming in here to preach. If you charging me to come here, I might as well read the book and pray with myself.
Exactly.
Who said like? And that's another thing. You know, to be a Christian doesn't mean you have to go to church.
And I struggle to see what's the benefit of actually going to the church. You take up so much time, take up so much of my money, take a lot of resources. Like, what else is the church giving back? It's like, all right, you're giving me the word, but honestly, bro, like churches stream so much nowadays. You could just like, if you want to hear the word,
you go on YouTube and just type in something, and you find something live.
Exactly. So it's like, it has to be more that I'm getting if I'm paying you this 10%. I could see the word online from whatever pastor. So, like, what else are you giving me in my community to justify this 10% I'm giving you every Sunday?
Exactly. And that's the thing. If I can see the 10% is going into the... yes, the church needs to... they have their bills, right? I get that. But majority of that money needs to go into the community so I can at least say, okay, yeah, my community is better. I feel my money's going to something constructive when I give it to the church and they handle that. You see what I'm saying? And the church is a community thing, right? There's people who have 9-to-5s that go there and put in extra time. Those people that's putting in the extra time are the ones that are supposed to be going out, doing outreach, doing, you know, helping up, making sure that the community is safe, talking with the borough president and the councilmen, you know, about what we need in our communities. They're supposed to be our spokesperson.
Exactly.
Because we're going to work 9 to 5. We don't have that extra flexibility. You know, there's, you know, little Auntie Jane or something like that retired and she don't have, you know, she got all this time and, you know, she's able to go to the courts and go to the, you know, the hearings and stuff and talk about the community while we at work, you know, paying our bills and giving our 10% to the church. That's how this stuff is supposed to be working.
That's how it should be working.
But no, instead, not a damn soul is inside of the hearings. All these congestion pricing, all this stuff is happening, and nobody from a church comes and says, hey, the community church of blah, 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 Church Avenue, this, that, you know, we feel that our members and our community is going to suffer greatly because our rent went up and, you know, the bus price went up and now we have to pay to cross the bridge and all. Like, none of that. You get none of that. So what is the purpose of having the church there if they don't do anything for you?
Exactly. They don't do anything. They're not doing nothing for you, man. It's just sad. It's just sad. And I feel really bad for the black people who's in the church on a daily basis that are struggling. And it's just going to be a cycle, man. Like, it's not much that they could do to better themselves because they don't have enough time to even work on themselves. Like, bro, if I'm in a bad position, working a deadbeat job, or I'm working a job that's not giving me enough money to support basic living standards, I'm going to say, like, yeah, I can't spend so much time in the church because I have to get myself out of this struggle. But you let that pastor man speak to you, Yeah, don't bet on yourself. It's all right. God gonna work it out. God gonna work it out. I need you in Bible study, extra service, this service. And by the time you go home, you're tired.
You're tired. You know, you gotta eat, you gotta cook, you gotta take care of your kids.
You know what
I mean? You got responsibilities when you get home. You know?
So sad.
It's sad. It's just meant another thing that's meant to keep you down.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not right. And as usual, black people get taken advantage of. Whether it's in entertainment, religion, like sports, everything. You know, we get the shitty end of the stick. And, you know, look, I want anybody, even if you're watching this and you're a pastor or you know a pastor, send him this video, scroll to an hour and 2 minutes or 59 minutes through the video, get to this part and show him this part and show whoever this part so they can come on this podcast and we could talk about it.
Yeah.
We could talk about it. You know, again, I don't have no qualms with any type of religion that you believe in, but yo, we can have the discussion. I don't like what I'm seeing. It doesn't make any sense and it's not worth it. And I don't see any benefits in my community at all from all of these churches that live around that are around me. I have about 8 churches within a 5-block radius.
A food bank nowhere.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any damn sense.
Yeah, we gotta start holding these churches accountable.
There shouldn't be no shootings. There shouldn't be no robberies. There shouldn't be people running up into the Rite Aid, stealing candy and ice cream to the point where they have to shut the Rite Aid down. Like, what kind of craziness is that?
No, honestly, like, churches should actually, like, provide some type of funding for protection in these communities.
Like, there should be community police, like community watchmen. You know? Like this, you and then what's crazy is you can go up to like Westchester, Eastchester. You go into those neighborhoods, they have community.
I was just about to say that.
They have community watchmen. They have community
watchmen, bro.
Surveillance, and that's not even a damn church. That's not even a church, and they're not even paying for that. There's just a community thing that they're doing together.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a damn shame, and we're in New York City, where there's like people all over the place, thousands of us, right? Hundreds of us in a 3-block radius, right? But yet we still have all this damn crime. How does that make sense?
Crime is so bad. And, you know, I was listening to, I don't know what his title was, but he was like, yeah, crime is actually going down. Crime is down by like 1.8%. Robbery is down by 10% or some shit like that. I was like, bro, you can say all you want to say about that. But the reason why crime is even down that much is because they're over their budget for overtime for police officers. They're working the police officers that are available, they working them to the ground, bro. Mm-hmm. To the ground. And it's like, it seems like they don't even have enough budget to even onboard new officers. Because the officers who are here, bro, I feel so bad for them. Want to talk all this to fund the police. No, nobody wants to be a cop anymore. Nope. Like, honestly, what the fuck would I want to be a cop anymore? To get this protest talking about fuck the police still. This still New Yorkers saying that shit, bro. Yeah, you gonna get disrespected. You're basically getting paid anything. There's a lot of overtime available, but it's like you're working to live. Mm-hmm. And people want to say, oh, the crime is terrible, but at the same time, you're getting disrespected as a police officer. Now you see why we need police? Literally look at New York compared to other states. Yeah, yeah. The crime is terrible.
It's ridiculous, you know. And look, I'm not over here saying I'm a big proponent of the police. You know, I still don't like the police based on the stuff that or the NYPD. Let's say that, or police in general. But we're talking about New York. They've done some really fucked up stuff to black people here. All right, and there are some bad cops. I'm not saying all of them are bad, but you fast forward now, you mix that into all the overtime that they're doing and all the pressure that they're under now. Now they're really going to start wilding out on people for no reason. Fatigue, stress, You know what I mean? Meeting quotas, doing all that stuff. Now they're going to take it out on us.
Exactly.
A simple traffic stop now can be turned into something bigger than it needs to be.
And my thing about when BLM was a thing, I always agree with the sentiment of Black Lives Matter. But the organization was proved was corrupt. I was literally just listening to something the other day.
Shame.
And they were still breaking down, one of the co-founders of BLM, how many houses she had. I was like, this is ridiculous. But I agree with the sentiment of Black Lives Matter because even growing up, like I know people, bro, that just got mindlessly beaten by the police for no reason. We talking about church. I know a family friend of ours was on his way to church. Cops stopped him and beat him up for no reason.
Oh,
I was with my brother one time walking home at night. Cops stopped him. They didn't touch me, but they beat him up for no reason. And I'm just like, see, there are bad cops out there. Just as like in every occupation, there's bad coworkers. We will all know somebody in the job we work in like, damn, I don't know how this person got this job. You know what I mean? There are bad workers everywhere. But we need to hold cops at a higher level because they're in charge of people's lives. So I feel like there should be maybe some initial training or something to weed out these bad cops. But at the same time, I don't mean I'm willing to defund police or disrespect the police because, bro, something happens. Who you calling?
Yep.
You calling little JoJo down the block?
But and yeah, we're still on the topic of pastors, but I just wanted to touch on something is, that's right. When the cop is beating you up, who do you call? Right? We have no community that steps up and will fight for you, right? Because at the end of the day, the badge is just the badge, man. There's a guy behind that badge. There's a woman behind that badge, right? And at the end of the day, when they take the badge off and they go on the street, they're a regular citizen just like the rest of us, okay? So there is no, in the black community, there is no street justice. George Floyd got choked out in front of the cameras and nobody even dare to tackle the police officer, even though they know he was choking him out.
That's so crazy.
What I find very interesting is everybody can pull out their cell phones and record the injustice that's going on, right?
But nobody actually wanted to take action.
But nobody took action.
Because they were thinking about themselves. They was like, what are the consequences?
No, because black people are cowards.
Right.
That's what it really boils down to. They're cowards. That's why we are where we are. That's why we're always going to be the victim on everything. And that's why, again, these churches are not raising real men. They're not raising real men in the community. They're not showing that you should love your brother, you should love your sisters, you should protect each other, you should stand together.
You know what's crazy too? We didn't take action on George Floyd and fuck that motherfucker up. But you know what we did fight for? Or you know what we did take action on? Robbing them stores.
Robbing the stores.
Caught breaking down businesses.
Burning down the businesses in the same community you live in.
We didn't think about the repercussions then. But we're thinking about the repercussions of tackling a police officer that's taking somebody's life away.
So, did the Asians go and burn down their own stores when the Black Lives Matter movement was going on?
Nope.
Did the Muslim guy burn down his own bodega when the Black Lives Matter was going on?
Nope.
Did the Spanish guy burn down his taco truck when, when the Mexican guy burned down his taco truck when BLM was going on? No. Well, let's even make it more current. Is the Mexican dude burning down his taco truck because the whole migrant crisis? No. Was the Asians burning down their own communities when the Asian hate crime was going on with the COVID? No. Did the Muslim guys run around and burn down their mosque and run around and do all of this violence when 9/11 happened? No.
Because what would that solve? You're just hurting yourself. You're literally hurting your own community, bro. You're literally taking supermarkets, businesses out from your community.
But only black people are the only ones, even though we don't own shit, right?
And the shit we got, we fucking up. We burn down.
You have stuff. We are the only ones that will go run around and burn down our own communities, break down stores, businesses, even black-owned businesses, right? Mm-hmm. To prove what point?
And I remember around that time, so I believe it was Walgreens, but multiple businesses were like moving out of these communities because they're like, basically they don't want to like lose money. These are for-profit businesses. black people were calling them racist. It's like, oh, y'all moving out of the community because we burn y'all down, y'all racist. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You're hurting my business. Who's to say that I'm gonna get that insurance money to like rebuild it? So I'm supposed to stay here and continue, and y'all continue to rob me? Y'all continue to burn my business down? I'm getting the fuck up out of here.
Think about it. That business owner has employees who have mouths to feed, who got a rent to pay, who got bills to pay. Now you're just destroying his business, which is not only affecting him, but now affecting his employees. What are they going to do?
And the thing about it, too, it's like, look, if y'all going to destroy a community, don't destroy the community y'all living in. Y'all destroying the supermarket down the block. Y'all destroying where y'all shop at around the corner.
Jumping on people's cars.
And then it's like, all right, the riot's done. Now you want to go grocery shopping. Where the fuck you going?
Oh, no. Now you got to pick up your grandmother's prescription. Now now you got to go further.
Y'all go 10 miles somewhere else.
Like, come on, man. Like, this is so dumb. It's so stupid. You know, and this is where I think the church should have played a vital role in keeping the peace among black people during something like this.
Partaking in that bullshit.
Like, come on.
Probably bailing out the people who got caught.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure there was a bunch of pastors that went and got caught up in the PPP loan frauds too. Oh. So we ain't even talk about that yet, but like...
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But look, this is an embarrassment. Black people are always the victim. And we continue to show that in 2023, not a damn thing has changed. Okay, we're just being bamboozled and sidetracked. We got our own Haitian brothers and sisters that's going through a whole revolution, civil war that's going on over there, and not a damn word is being said about them. But everybody wants to talk about Ukraine and Palestine. Okay, this is a problem. This is a real problem.
Yeah, and not to backtrack a bit, but I remember Candace Owens. She said the main thing she's trying to do is to help the black community, right? Obviously, as she got bigger, more wealthier, somebody told her. She didn't say the name, unless she did, I forgot. She was like, you just got to let the black community go. There's no helping them. And she said she felt sick, and she just felt so sad when she heard that because... now she's on a little run now. I think people are starting to wake up to her message.
Oh, yeah. She got fired off the...
Yeah. I got something to say about that, too. Yeah. I think people are starting to wake up to her message, but before, when she was just looked at as Uncle Tom or black people didn't weren't adhering to her message, she was like, why isn't Black America waking up? Somebody told her, like, listen, you got to leave them behind. You can't save black people for some reason. I'm glad she never gave up on black people because, like I said, now she's, people are starting to, like, get what she's saying, especially when it came about BLM. She was one of the first to say, do not give your money to them, they are corrupt. Turned out what she said was true.
Turned out to be true.
She was literally the first to say, well, a lot of Republicans were saying this, don't vote for Biden because the immigrants that he's just letting in, trying to cause voter fraud. He's trying to get all of them to just vote, have those non-citizens vote so they could keep him in office. They're like, when you open up the borders, that's what's going to happen. And look what's happening now. Yeah. So I think a value lesson was learned too. It's like, look, I don't agree with everything Candace Owens says. Some things I'm like, Candace, I don't agree with that. But, a good amount of her messages I do agree with. And I definitely agree with what she's trying to do. Because her main point is trying to help Black America. Right? You could talk about anybody. You could talk about black people, Latinos, whatever. But the moment you make a comment about Jewish people, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah. I found that crazy, bro. And the thing about it, she didn't even say anything super wild to me. I found that so crazy. I was like, yo, the same people like Ben Shapiro, she was in a business relationship with. They were friends for a while. I know they were beefing for a little bit. Mm-hmm. The minute she disagreed on, the whole Jewish situation, bro.
Yeah. I saw that.
It went downhill and they fired. I'm like, damn. So she can have opinions on the black community and every other community, but when it comes to your people, get the fuck up out of here. I find that kind of crazy. I was like, yo, let this be a lesson to y'all who got the real power. But
Hey, the whole Jewish thing and Candace Owens thing, I think it was messed up because, a lot of people try to misconstrue what she says and all of that. I mean, it's the regular media tactics that they do, but it's just unfortunate that black people can't come together, whether it's with religion or with someone who's making some sense. Sometimes I'm not saying I agree with Candace Owens 100%, but
yeah, definitely not.
there's things that I don't agree, some things I do agree with, but I can't sit here and say she's talking all bullshit. Dr. Umar Johnson's the same thing. I agree with most of what he's saying, but not everything.
Yeah, not everything.
But again, people always try to doubt these same people, but they'll run and go when it's like the white man are doing something like that. They'll run and go and do it. Or if it's some scam or some fraud or like these crooked pastors, they'll run and give the money there. But be hesitant to ask questions to inquire about, okay, what's really happening here? They'll run and go and vote for Biden when he says, if you don't vote for me, you're not black. You'll run and vote for Hillary Clinton and say, oh, I keep hot sauce in my purse and I'm invited to the barbecue.
Yeah,
like, what kind of stupid questions are we trying to do
people
here?
Get away with some bullshit, bro.
Like what set of race of people is really that dumb to really fall for the nonsense? Like, no other race except black people does the stupid shit.
There's no other race that causes more self-harm than black people, bro.
Like, we harm ourselves and then we become the victim of harming ourselves and then we ask for handouts.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Like, that's
insane. Asking this handout for shit.
That's insane. But listen, we're gonna wrap up this episode, and I'll say my final statements. This was a pastor episode. I'm gonna say that if you are a churchgoer, I would highly encourage you to inquire about where's your money going, your tithes and offering. Where's your first fruit going if you participate in that, and ask your pastor, how is your church changing the community? In what ways? And in what ways could your church help, the community and help the younger ones? Ask him those type of questions.
Exactly, y'all. Be curious, man. Just be curious. Don't follow anybody blindly. That's one of the things about me. I'm not following anybody blindly. I need to hear what you got to say. I need to make sure you're a legit person. And don't let these pastors take over you emotionally. Yeah.
And on that bombshell, like, comment, subscribe. Definitely we want to hear your reactions to this. This is a really packed episode right here.
Yeah, talking about a lot.
We're definitely going to try to get some churchgoers on the show and hear their perspective. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe change my mind, or let us inform us.
Maybe they're wrong about Bling Pastor.
Maybe we're wrong about Bling Pastor. Maybe it's okay to have a private jet and steal $90,000 from somebody. Maybe it's okay. Maybe that's the way.
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll see.
But anyway, I'm Rich and I'm signing out.
I'm D signing out. See y'all later.
See y'all in the next one. Deuces.